Have you ever driven past a huge construction site, seen the cranes and the crews, and just wondered, how did that company even get that job? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that exact process. We're using a real-world, multi-million-dollar project to show you how it's done. Everything starts with a problem, and in this case, it's a big one. We're talking about a 1957 school gym that is, and this is putting it lightly, completely falling apart. I mean, the official report from the University of Florida says it's in poor to pitiful condition. The roof leaks, the floor's rotting, there's no hot water. You get the picture. But you know, where there's a problem, there's an opportunity. And this is a massive opportunity. The university has set aside over $18.7 million to replace it, not just patch it up, but build a brand new, state-of-the-art facility. Right. So how do you get your hands on a contract like that? Well, it's not just about having the lowest price, not even close. It's a really complex process of deep research, smart strategy, and just perfect execution. We're going to break it all down step by step.
All right, here's the game plan. We've got 4 main steps, and then we'll wrap up with the winning formula. Let's dive right in.
So, your first move? It's not what you think. It's not sketching a cool building or running the numbers. The very first thing you have to do is become an absolute expert on the client. You need to understand their history, what keeps them up at night, and what their biggest dreams are for the future. See, this new gym isn't just some random idea. It's actually the final piece of a huge redevelopment plan that started way back in 2007. A winning bidder has to show they get that. They have to prove they understand this long-term vision and that their project will be the perfect capstone. And this is where the homework really kicks in. We're talking about digging through hundreds of pages of documents. The university spells out the core demands right here: the total budget, the building size, a mandatory LEED Gold rating for sustainability, and a really key detail, it's a design-build project. That means one team is responsible for the whole shebang, from blueprints to construction.
And if that wasn't enough, it gets even trickier. You're not just answering to one person. You have to navigate a whole maze of university committees. You've got the historic preservation folks, the lakes and landscaping people. A successful proposal has to show that you can make all of these different groups happy.
Okay, so once you've done all that research on the client, you hit the next big challenge. You've got to build your team. And trust me, you absolutely cannot win a project like this by yourself. The university actually gives you a template to work with, this DBQS form. It's basically a roster. You have to name every single key partner right up front. Your architect, your engineers, everyone. There's no hiding who you're working with. And here, this is what a winning team looks like on paper. This is from Stellar, the company that actually won the contract. They filled every single slot with a specialized, proven firm. You're not just selling your company. You're selling the power of this entire hand-picked A-team. Now, this is a huge deal. And it's a massive barrier to entry. Every single firm on that list has to be properly licensed, insured, and able to get bonded for a project this big. There are absolutely no exceptions. This alone weeds out a ton of the competition before the race even begins. So, you've got your team assembled. Now it's time to actually build the proposal document. And let me tell you, this thing is way more than just a price quote. It's your big chance to present your whole strategy and prove you're the best for the job. This is where you really have to show your stuff. The client asks these really specific, tough questions. They want to know how you'd handle gym-specific problems like acoustics and lighting. And a winning answer isn't some vague promise. It's a detailed list of concrete solutions that you've used on past projects. Same thing goes for the budget. The client basically asks, how are you going to keep this on track? And a weak answer is, oh, don't worry, we'll be fine. A winning answer, like Stellar's here, lays out the exact system they'll use, a dashboard for real-time cost tracking, ordering materials early. They're selling a process, not just a promise. And then, after all that incredible work, you face the final boss, the submission gauntlet. And they are not kidding around. 2 separate PDFs, under 30 megabytes total, a super specific email subject line sent to 3 specific people by exactly 3:00 p.m. on the dot. One little mistake here, and your entire bid gets tossed in the trash. Attention to detail is everything.
So if your written proposal makes it through that gauntlet, you get shortlisted for the final, most decisive step, the in-person presentation. This is where you have to stand in front of the selection committee and prove your case face to face.
And check this out. The scoring criteria for that final pitch says it all. A whopping 40% of your score comes from qualifications and project understanding. The actual price is only 20%. This tells you that it's not about being the cheapest. It's about convincing the committee that you're the team that truly gets what they're trying to achieve. And here's another killer detail. The university requires that the people who will actually be on the ground, the project manager and the superintendent, are the ones who present the technical stuff. They don't want to hear from a slick salesperson. They want to look the real leaders in the eye and be convinced by their expertise. So after taking this whole thing apart, what's the secret? What's the formula for turning a mountain of paperwork into a multi-million-dollar contract?
It really boils down to this. Winning a project of this scale isn't about being good at just one thing. It's about nailing all 4 of these pillars. You have to do the deep research, build that tailored A-team, craft a flawless proposal, and then deliver a perfect, convincing pitch that seals the deal.
And that's the big takeaway from all this. While the final product might be a building made of bricks and mortar, the real work, the work that actually wins the job, is building the perfect argument, the perfect proposal, and the perfect presentation. It shows that before you can build anything in the real world, you first have to build belief.